Well, good morning. Okay,
Good
let's
morning.
bring all this repliquitos here, like whatever you want here. Which one would you like? You want the unlabeled one?
Yeah, if that's what you're feeling.
It's up to you, whatever you want. Have Jaguar, there. Cacao. Cacao is light.
I did cacao last night.
Oh, you did last
I
night?
was making cacao, you know.
To connect?
Yeah.
Whatever you want. What's calling you?
Some
Want
Jaguar.
the strong sound?
Some
Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So, yeah, Jaguar. Let's do Jaguar. So how was the sharing last night?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, match was still really strong for Alex. A lot of energy.
Wow, for everybody.
And,
I think the guys were still
yeah,
flying
they
at
were,
night. They still were like in the medicine, you know?
Yeah, especially John, man. He had the stronger stuff.
Yeah, I think they were flying overnight back to States.
No, Adam
No.
maybe. John going to jungle.
Yeah. So Adam went back to States. Oh, I think the whole night they were doing this.
Yeah,
Flying until you pass out in the plane.
yeah. I mean, it was definitely till like 4 o'clock for me.
Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah, like 3 o'clock was strong, and then started kind of like,
Yeah, 18 hours.
yeah.
It was strange when like 2 people left.
I know.
I mean, they had to leave, they had the flight, but good that they flew
Yeah.
late, so you can do the ceremony, have the sharing.
You could
know.
feel the kind of energy.
The energy, of course, like you spend the whole day with
Yeah.
people, and then some of them leaving, and some days like a little bit
Yeah,
strange. But
definitely
that's,
missing them, like around the fire.
yeah, for the sharing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Jaguar. Let's do Jaguar. But stayed late or they left earlier? Alex?
Nah, they left early at like 10:30 or
Oh,
something.
that's early. So you were by yourself like a king.
It was okay though, like it was perfect, man.
Enjoying
Like I really
the
was
last
processing,
ceremony, yeah,
and, like
especially after
fire,
yesterday.
gratitude, and like big day.
Totally. Golis, relax. Relax. Golis. Relax. Stay calm. The guy painting the wall. Golis, come here. Golis! Сюда искал. Pintando? Vas a salir? Just a second. I need to. He want to ask me something. Just a second, I'll be right back. He's painting the wall. Yes, exactly. Good. Last painting on the wall. I just had this idea in the ceremony. So
Painting like this, yeah.
yeah. It's but it's going to be a different, just our logo, you know. I thought that's what's missing. You know, we have it on the website, but it's not an actual house.
And what is this fellow here?
Well, it's all Chevin art.
Yeah, but isn't this like the god of Huachuma or something?
Yeah, it's a deity.
Yeah.
You know, but there I want to have the logo, our logo. You know. So just to kind of welcome people when people come, the first thing is the welcome, and I feel like that's what's missing, you know, all these years. So now it's there, the guy's painting.
Beautiful.
All right, good. So let's chat.
So I was wondering if I could start this interview by interviewing you a little bit. A couple questions. It's all relevant.
Okay.
What is like the archaeologists around the world consensus of what happened to the Incan civilization? Like, what did they say? Those archaeologists, PhDs, that happened.
Well, the Incan,
Yeah.
that's kind of established that they were just conquered by the Spanish.
They're conquered by the Spanish and wiped out.
and basically enslaved and destroyed. That's kind of
That's the same story they tell like a 12-year-old if they ask in school, like teacher.
But that's real. That's happened. That's like we see that from chronicles, from Spanish chronicles. They came here with the conquistadors, and that's what you read in the documents. Basically, that's what considered to be a document. So they came, conquest, kind of.
That's the same thing you've like felt in the medicine over these years and working with
with Inca, see.
Yeah.
With Inca,
Yeah, cool.
When it goes back, it's like different stories. But with Inca, you have records. That's the thing. Like you can't make stuff up. You can just guess because we have records of what happened. People actually wrote it down. So.
Like how long ago? How many years ago was it? That
it was like a 16th century.
16th century.
Like 1535, I think. They came here. You know, it's like early 16th century.
A little less than
500.
Yeah.
It's 500 years. Like in 10 years, it's going to be 500 years since the conquest, since the invasion, and then the conquest, took years. It's not like overnight.
Language and like some aspects of the culture that still survive to a degree.
No, for sure, for sure. And then kind of they let the Incan rule, but under their supervision. It's kind of a sub-ruling. It's like you rule for us, you rule there for us. But then they all were paying taxes now to to Spanish bandits and murderers and rapists and thieves. That's who came, man. These are not good people who came here.
It's the same in America, it's all the natives.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I asked, because in my experience, history is always written by the victors. And like in our school, they teach like Thanksgiving was these Spanish conquistadors and natives coming together and like breaking bread and sharing meals and this big joyous union, and like it's the exact opposite.
Who is giving thanks to whom?
Yeah, right?
Like these people conquest. This is like bandits, man.
Yeah.
Gangsters.
Yeah, I know.
Coming, robbing, and raping.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you giving thanks to?
But you see this this happening throughout history all over the world, and you get to places like the pyramids in Egypt, and there's a lot of discrepancy there. If it's 4,000 years old, 16,000 years old, like
we don't know.
And even the Egyptian government and Egyptology, it's like they don't kind of want the real truth to be exposed because they capitalize so much on this Egyptian culture being 4,000 years old. And, this happens everywhere, right?
It's a narrative, with Incas, it's easy because we have records, but when it goes back to ancient civilization of Peru, nobody knows anything. You know what I mean? It's like the best guess. The best guess. Like they guess it. Okay, we think that is. We think that is. If you look back at Chavin culture, you see all the images here. Like archaeologists says that it's like 3,000 years old. Basically, Chavin kind of begin like 1200 BC, and then kind of disappear like 200 BC. So they have like 900 years there. But that's only based on carbon dating of organic matter that found in Chavin Temple, which is organic, bones, fabric, But that doesn't mean that the culture is that old.
That's just
they're just people who were there during that time. But you can carbon date stones. So who did stones and all this art? Who knows and when? It's like that thing can go thousands of years before they think it was. You know what I mean? So it's like, but they can't go based on that because they can't just say, okay, we're guessing this. So they need to have, it's kind of academic discipline. So they have to refer to certain dates. So it's like, okay, we carbon date that. Okay, that's the consensus now. But when you go travel, it's like a drink medicine there. It's like it feels older, a lot older. So you can tell. Same with pyramids. Who knows, man? It's like this thing can be like 12,000, 15,000 years old. This thing can go like back to just like.
I've read and felt when I was there. It goes back to Atlantean time. 16,000 years ago.
Like, totally. That was my feeling too. This is like, but these are the guys who built Egypt. People from Atlantis. This, the island sunk. Some people who escaped, they brought the knowledge to different places. Egypt was one of them. So these are descendants of Atlantis.
And Turkey as well. Turkey had like these caves underground, and then Göbekli
it's around the same,
and like what
around the same time, probably.
They're still discovering all this stuff about Göbekli. It's not even.
But it's not as impressive. Like to me, it's like kind of primitive art.
Have you been there?
No, but I've seen like videos.
It's
and
new. Like we don't really know. That
it's
much
like, you
about
know,
it.
you see, it's like, okay, it's like I'm not just not impressive. Like nothing impressive as Egypt.
Yeah,
to me, like
some like Graham Hancock and others
Yeah.
argue that it's like actually the world's oldest archaeological site. It's just the newest, and we haven't really discovered
it
that much
could
about
be.
it yet.
You know, I like Graham. You know, he
Yeah.
endorsed few of my books. You know,
Yeah, I met him.
I like his research
2 years ago.
and
Just a great
conference.
guy. Yeah, it was called Contact in the Desert.
Oh, okay,
And,
okay.
yeah, phenomenal guy. And really
Oh,
approachable.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy. I like Graham. You know, but you know, the Gopi Tipe, you know, whatever you pronounce this thing, like, it's just not to me. Just not. There's nothing there for me. It's just like primitive. But Egypt for sure. Egypt is powerful. Man. Egypt is like amazing.
And then there's another thing in Egypt I saw everywhere was what they call over there as a Merkaba. And I think it's known as the Incan prayer wheel here. The symbol that's on the door to the Maloka. Is it Incan prayer wheel? Or?
Well, this is called Chakana here.
Kana?
Chakana.
Chakana.
Chakana. So that's a very ancient symbol.
But you find it all over the world where these civilizations were supposed to be detached. And
That's nobody knows what it is. You know, people think, people have theories, but it's all theories, and they're very different theories.
yeah.
You know, but if you really like look into it, it's like, hey, who knows what it was? You see Chakana on the third eye of a main Chivin deity.
Yeah.
You can see right there. That's the main Chivin deity right there in the wall. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see Chakana right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like on the it's his third eye. I mean, this is like thousands of years old. Who knows what it is?
Yeah, from
You
what,
can just guess.
from what I think I know, here is actually where they've found and been able to date the oldest one in the world, that symbol. And
But you can't date stones.
yeah, from like their culture, it's like referenced and like stitched together. You know? So it's more like a
It's not
theory.
exact- It's
right?
more theory.
Yeah.
It's not like a factual thing. It's like it's old. We know this for sure because you see it like all over Peru. You see it also in Bolivia, in Tiwanaku. This is all sites.
Yeah.
You know, so it can be. Some people say it's you know, the Cruz del Sur, which is Southern Cross, which you see in the sky at night here in our hemisphere. Other people say it's the representation of all the Indian worlds, you know, the lower world, the middle world, and the higher world. That can be too, but there is a problem is that because the Chicana with three, you know, angles, it's okay. You can fit that, but what about Chicana with five angles? It's like, what's that about? You know, it's not exact
Yeah.
thing, you know. So, but I respect it. I just resonate with the sign, and it's very ancient, so that's why we integrate it in our place.
When I first found this symbol in Egypt, I was brought, you know, kind of incognito to this place in the Gaza Strip that's not open to the public. We had to go there at 3 in the morning and climb some fences and hike in the desert. And it's a place that Matthias de Stefano visits quite a bit. I meditated in the center of this and at all cardinal points. And when I was in the center, man, it was a portal to other worlds. And this was not in the medicine either. I just laid down there and you know, dissolved into myself, or well, actually out of myself, and connection to the galactic family. You know,
But what was the structure like?
it's the exact same. It's the exact same. So like where your circle is empty here, that was actually full, and so I laid over that point. And then then yesterday at the Eagle's Nest, when we all congregated at the end for that prayer, I found this earlier in that place that I was sitting and then eventually laying. There's that same symbol there. I found these stones that were kind of like the tip of the iceberg, right? Because like all the debris over time, like you could just see the very top of it. And I was sitting there and having those same connections to this energy, otherworldly.
You know, people who spend some time, at least some time, in researching ancient civilizations, as I did, and that was my passion. I mean, it still is. It's just not in the front of my mind anymore, you know. But those who did that, I mean, we can all agree that there's a lot of resemblance worldwide when you look at different sites. Like, they're different, like cultures are different, but there is a lot of similarity.
Yeah, my theory is that there's just more of a direct connection to this kind of universal consciousness, right?
Yeah, you can say that. It's like you see similarity,
Yeah.
even in architecture too. Like that's actually my first book.
Yeah.
I was saying, I was speaking about this. Like you can see the same. If you travel here and you see the way how they connect walls, the same L-shaped kind of stones, the kind of cornerstones. It's the same thing you see in Egypt.
Yeah.
You know, and how exactly you have the same technology if you never connect. It's like, you know what I mean?
I think specifically in Peru, there's a place that has these giant boulders that, like,
Sacsayhuaman.
even with our tools today, we can't make these precisions with all of our lasers and whatnot.
It's incredible. It's Sacsayhuaman. You just go in Cusco, Sacsayhuaman.
Yeah,
That's the biggest.
I've heard. I just haven't been there yet.
Oh, no, you have to see it. If you like it, you have to go.
Yeah,
there.
next time I'll come. Right?
Yeah, Sacsayhuaman. It's in Cusco. You just jump in collective and get there.
You know, some people I know that have
It's
spent
beautiful.
time
It's the
here,
biggest.
that's their favorite ruin of the area.
Well, for South America.
They've done the tours.
Of the South America. It's
South
like,
America.
Yeah, it's like the whole continent. This is the biggest monuments. You know, fits together perfectly, and it's just giants. You just look at this like, no way, man. How you do this?
Yeah.
Also, Ollantaytambo, which is right there. You know,
Yeah.
the Temple of the Sun, also same technology, just a bit smaller, but also magnificent.
That's just that's like a town of a fairy book, man. It's
It's
magical.
like how you do that. It's like, you know, so this thing goes back. I don't believe that was the Incas' work.
Yeah.
To me, this is like, oh, stuff that was adopted by Incas and kind of, you know, they build on top of it, but that's not the Incas' work. This is like something
more like
else.
Atlantean or pre.
That's that's like, it's like how you do this. There's no tools for that.
Yeah.
It's like you just can't. They use bronze tools. This is granite and what's it? The red one I forgot. Even a harder one. I mean the granite and there's another stone. I forgot now. But it's super hard stones. Like you have to, and you just can cut them. You can't just cut them
Yeah.
like butter. You know what I mean? There has to be something there that helps purely logistically, like to cut, to put them together. You know, it's like you don't do it with primitive tools.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Doesn't
all
work.
frequency, energy, and vibration. You know, it's what Tesla said, the OG Tesla, that if you want to understand the nature of the mysteries of the universe, understand frequency, energy, and wavelengths. You know.
That sounds like too advanced for folks who were here 500 years ago.
And my theory is that's how they moved all these boulders up for the pyramids too. It was some sort of frequency,
some kind of anti-gravity
like
technology. I don't
energy
know,
work,
man.
you know, like
Make it, you know,
levitate.
levitate. Make it like, you know, I don't know. But you need something. You can't just push it through the desert. Like now they have this new theory that
they're using logs and like all sorts of.
no, but that's silly completely. That's even when I was a kid, like it's like, man, that doesn't make sense, you know. But now they use the new theory that there was the Nile was bigger and wider, and that was like right by the pyramids, so they used the water. But even that, it's like it's not just how you move things around. This is like heavy duty work. That's like a primitive mind.
What's floating that down the river?
You know, how you build all this stuff. It's like, what's the architecture behind it? What's the vision? You know what I mean? And if you've been in Egypt, it's like, I mean, it's not just how you. It's not just the technical work. Like, oh, I cut the rock, I moved the rock. It has. It's a different work. It's a labor of. It's a conscious work. You know, it's a labor of love. It's not slave work. Slave might did some part of it, you know what I mean? But nah, this is like art. This is art, you know? And real art cannot be rooted in slavery. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just not like...
That's not how the universe works, right?
It's just not like this, you know? This is art. It's the expression of consciousness and reverence to divine.
And connection, right?
And connection. This is like, that's what I see in it. So, you know, but the mainstream archaeologists, they're very stubborn.
Oh yeah, it's gotta like protect their academic ego almost, right?
Yeah, Graham was just fighting with them for like 20
Well, that dude's
years.
not even allowed in Egypt right now.
Yeah, they banned him
They
there.
kicked him out. Like,
They ban him. It's like they hate him, you know,
Yeah.
because he is really shaking the
and then he
the
made
narrative there.
a series on Netflix recently in the last year or two, and the archaeology community just came out with so much hate and slander, and they're just trying to diminish this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah, they want people to believe their narrative. That's it. They don't want anybody to confuse
It's almost like a
the
religion
narrative.
in that sense. Right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
This is religion. I would call it like what Egyptologists. So you would say like Egyptology. Jism.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? It's like an Egyptologism.
Yeah.
It's like a certain narrative that cannot be challenged.
Yeah.
But it's not different here.
Yeah.
The same thing. Everything here is Inca.
Yeah.
You challenge that, man. No, everything's Inca.
It's more
It's
like reverence, I guess, in that regard. Huh?
it's like there is Inca for sure, and there is respect for those guys too. But these are not the only guys. These are the latest. These were the last people.
That's what we
here.
know.
That's what we know. It's like what happened here for like 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, before that. You know what I mean? It's
like what's the oldest skeleton that's been found here? That dates back like 30, 40,000 some years, doesn't
like
it?
the mummies.
Yeah, and there's some with these elongated skulls and like miniature bodies.
I have that. I have that all in my book, and I have the alien guy. Did you see the alien guy in the Cusco Museum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably will be interested.
Go to the Cusco Museum for this?
Yeah. It's next time you come.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Waiki. It's the guy who was found by archaeologists, Renato. It's a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So very weird looking guy, like this size.
Yeah.
Like his head is bigger than his body,
Yeah.
elongated head, very like huge eye, like total.
Kind of like what we know of the
grays.
Yeah,
Totally, what you see gray, that's the guy, real skeleton. You know, it's like I have the bones of this guy for like already like 10 years. I'm sitting with that.
Like the altar? Or?
No, it's hidden. But it's like I wanted to do full DNA test for one of my books. But I want to trust somebody.
You gotta be careful, right?
You need to trust somebody. First of all, it has to be a reputable lab. That has to be like so they don't steal the research. You know what I mean? So I given that to one Russian professor who came here, scientist. I said, okay, take this. He said, yeah, I have labs in Europe. I can send and we can get it done free. You know, they will take care of it. I said, okay, take one. I didn't give him the whole thing. And then he sent it to some lab in Europe, I don't know where. And then the guy was found dead in the river 6 months later.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, okay, that didn't go very well. My research kind of died with the scientist. So I don't know what happened. He wasn't robbed. The police found his body with his wallet drowned in the river.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but that's the fact. That's what we know. Because he came with another guy who brought him here, and you know, I knew him. He was coming here already a few times, so it's a friend. He's a friend actually. So that's what happened. So I still have the bones. I would like to have full DNA because if we're talking about any aliens, like real guys who aren't who just don't look like us, that will be this.
Yeah.
Like the rest you see on the YouTube, it's like, man, just forget about this. It's just not.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything out there, right? But like what I do know of the greys is that there's two actually subspecies, right? And one of these subspecies actually went too far in the direction of technology and adapting that into their physiology. And they've lost touch with their like kind of soul and their consciousness. And so when we hear about kind of quote-unquote alien abductions and people having these bizarre surgeries, that's what it's happening with the subspecies of greys, because they're trying to figure out how to get their soul back and their consciousness, because they went too far in the technological direction.
Hey, that describes humanity right now.
Exactly, that's why I bring it up. And like,
I mean, that's that's us.
To be aware of that.
We are losing our soul in technology. That's what I write in my books.
Yeah, I mean, this whole cyborg culture, it's already doing weird stuff. Like I mentioned, I think Biden, like they've been doing some weird stuff with that guy because he obviously doesn't have a soul and a heart anymore, and maybe that's why it doesn't work. Like
just moving like a corpse, man.
There's been some weird stuff going on there.
You know, but it's not just it's big thing. It's the whole humanity. It's not just you know a political party or something.
The Chinese Communist Party actually owns that technology, and like what it's doing to attention and listening in general. Like,
it's a serious stuff, you know. I don't know. But yeah, of course you can go that rabbit hole. But even if you don't, it's just guys, just look where we are. We are losing our humanity in social media, in the cyber culture, and like transhumanism, media in general, yeah, for sure. But they're becoming, they want to turn us into just bio robots.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
In America, they're pushing all this like sexual identification in elementary schools and like getting kids.
Evil, man. I don't talk about it. I'll get angry. that will make it. This subject, this transgenderism, this
all right, we'll change.
pushed on children,
We'll-
man. That just makes my blood boil, man. I can talk about
Kids
this.
need a safe space. So, anyways, we were at the Eagle's Nest yesterday, and that was my. Actually, I did the math. It was my 14th ceremony in 25 days, and what a great way, as you mentioned, just a cherry on the top of my path this
Wrapping
time
up.
with the medicine. And we were walking up there, before we opened the space, and you mentioned like, oh man, you don't even understand this place. And I was like, yeah, like I'll understand more throughout the day. And you're like, no, you'll experience a little bit. And I was hoping that you could help me understand a little bit how this space was used traditionally and used today, and what it represents.
This is pre-Inca culture.
Pre-Incan.
Pre-Incan. Yeah, that's we know for sure because the archaeologists were there.
There's differences.
Yeah, and they identify this as a Kilke culture.
Oh, what?
Kilke, that's the name of the culture.
Kilke?
Kilke. Right? So that's they say it was like 900 AD, so it's like 1,100 years for those guys, and that was their administrative place. That's like when they were ruling. The rules were there. The shamans, the healers, the administrative people were there, like people who give orders, kind of running their culture, and then kind of taking care of it through the other sides,
Yeah.
But that's where they were like, that's the top. That's why it plays on the top of the mountains with amazing view and kind of connecting closer to the sun, because it's all kind of Inca also had that, to be closer to the sun. That's why they built all the stuff like on the top of sun, because they thought they were like the children of the sun. So if we are children of the sun, we want to be closer to our parents, which all makes sense. It ties to other things, but that's why they build on tops, also on the peaks, and it's like, whoa.
Being up there, I was tapping into this energy from ancient cultures, and then the Incas, and also you. And
It's all the sun energy, man. It's all sun energy.
Yeah,
that's all sun energy that we tapping into.
But the work that's just been happening there for so long, I was feeling that. My own processes too. I was pulling together all these places and experiences and medicine and meditation and breathwork from around the world and crystal skulls, and seeing how it all kind of weaves and can net together, and getting guidance on how to pull this together in communities and like.
I write about this, I think, in my work on the Cactus of Sanity in the third book.
Yeah.
I speak about Huachuma being sun energy, actual sun energy, sunlight that you drink when you take the cactus, So that's all tied with all this, with Incas and pre-Incas, like,
Yeah.
But it's different. Like we have, it's varying. You have different kind of. Different beliefs, but they are not that different at its core, because it's all like sun energy and sun god, and that goes back to Egypt. That's what they believe in this. It's like you go back. It's like you understand. Like there was one religion back long time ago. It was just this: Mother Earth, Father Sun, universal consciousness, plants that connects you to it. That was the actual religion. Real shamanic religion, before it became like all like kind of tribal, and we're talking old time. We're talking old time. It's like this is like we're talking ancient Egypt stuff. This is like prehistory stuff.
I can feel
that's what I understood. Like as I was doing my research, I was writing my books, doing medicine, thinking about this. That's what you come to. It's not like scientifically proven, but that's my feeling.
Yeah, in your heart.
That's
right?
in my heart. That's
your
like
soul.
how I understand reality, and through that, the ancient world, and of course there's a lot of research involved too.
Yeah.
Plus intuition, plus medicine. It's like you're trying to put together puzzles that are like spread far apart.
Yeah.
So. But definitely, whatever you come to, it's not what the mainstream archaeology tells you. That's like this is very boring, actually. Very boring. Very like nothing.
It's almost like
it's like go back to sleep.
It's almost like it's meant to be hidden, right?
It's like there's nothing
these
here.
Connections and
like
powers.
Here, it's like dumb.
Yeah.
The mainstream narrative is just dumb, man. It's like dumb. It's like, man, this is like
make people zombies.
It's like nothing here to to look at.
Keep
just
your
go.
consumerism. And
Go do your thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's just nothing. It's like they don't want you to open up your mind and think about human history.
Yeah.
You know, like where we come from. In that sense, I mean, we don't know where we come from, like deep down to the consciousness. You know, but that's all theories too. You know. But they just don't want us to think about anything.
Yeah.
They don't want the thinking people. That's the problem. They don't want you to be a thinking person.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
period.
What you're bred in like schools and especially universities.
Just
it's
zombify.
It's like a regurgitation program more than anything. Like who's got the best memory that can regurgitate what was spoon fed down their throat?
That's it. That's not education.
No.
That's dumbing down.
And like my experience is, I really feel that every person on this earth has a unique gift to share for the world. And part of the work in spiritual practices, the medicine, that's the process. It's reconnecting to our true self, removing all these layers of the onion so we can unfold in this process and bring our unique gift to the world to help foster life. So yeah, individual connection, I think that's what makes the web of life actually stronger and more nourishing and allows more things to unfold. You know, like with Huachuma and even plants and animals, it's like the more you're connected to yourself and the more you foster not only the life inside you, but the life outside of you on this planet, then that's when the gifts of both entities unfold to their best potential.
I think what you're saying makes sense. Just look at the globalization, the corporate globalization. Like everything is the same, man. You go to Cusco in a Starbucks, you sit in a Starbucks, you don't know where you are. It might be Florida, might be Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's all the same, man.
Yeah.
It's all the same. It's like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take a beautiful diversity that we have, real diversity. I'm not talking the woke bullshit. The real diversity, cultural.
It should be nourished.
It should be
supported.
It's incredible. That's what makes life interesting. Hey, let's go to another country.
Yeah.
Let's see how those guys live, what they eat, how they dance, or whatever. You know what I mean?
It's like all division now. It's like this nationality, this religion, this politics, this race, this sexuality. Like it's just divide and conquer techniques.
Exactly. It's not. And what they say, like diversity, man. It's like they weaponize the whole concept.
It's actually isolating people and making them more intolerant, right? It's like this is my
clique. Everything
like,
the same.
Make special rules for
it's
me.
It's like what makes travel exotic? The difference.
Yeah, the difference in food and textiles and
architecture,
and history.
Art. Yeah, you know, it's like how people live, how people have fun, how you know what I mean. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like I'm out of my routine. I'm out of my box. I can now expand my worldview by observing another culture.
Unfortunately for Americans, especially, like Americans have been at the forefront of this globalization, and so like what you mentioned with Starbucks, it's the same. Like Americans, like, they might go to another country, but they're going to like an all-inclusive resort or a place that's just like America because they feel safe.
Exactly. It's like you're not really outside of America.
And then like the people there all speak English and shit too. Like you don't have to like stretch your mind to like learn language and navigate.
That's the reason why we build the way we build. Like why like we have our place here. But I encourage people to get out, go to market, buy some food, talk to some people. You know what I mean? Like. Go sightseeing, do things on the free days between ceremonies, so you have this cultural experience.
Yeah,
I want you to have cultural experience. It's
very rich, richest cultures in the world too. Like
very rich. Just walk around.
Diversity in this country alone, from the north and the jungle to the south,
just within, it's all different culture here. Just within,
it's amazing.
Within Peru, you have different foods, different culture, different dance, different clothing, different. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite countries in the world.
Right here, it's amazing.
It's really
amazing. That's within the country. So that's when you get really this like diversity. You understand diversity here, cultural diversity. This is like a whole different concept from what they pushing on people.
So what I've heard from some of my medicine friends that like grew up and were raised here, because there's this big transition, right? Like medicine, like especially the plants. Yahe, Huachuma. I mean, Iboga's in Africa, but the majority of things originate from Peru.
Yeah.
But there's been this massive shift of bringing these medicines, especially to Costa Rica, to kind of bridge to North America, because North Americans in general feel more comfortable coming to Costa Rica. And, like, I get it, right? It's getting a lot more exposure, which is nice. But
Right, you're losing.
At the same time,
It's
I believe
losing.
like when the medicine travels, like even when ayahuasca travels from the jungle to here, I believe there's like a little bit of loss. Like and
Not in our sense, no, because we work with people from the jungle.
yeah.
So we do the same thing they do there.
So it's, the medicine is
This is
cooked
like-
here, or is it cooked there?
No, they make the medicine there and
Yeah,
they come
they
here. We
bring
drink,
it
but
here.
it's the same thing, man. It's like if you drink with us ayahuasca, it's the same. It's not that. It's who brings the medicine. It's who makes the medicine. The problem is Costa Rica, man. It's just too. I mean, this is just not even something that I consider as a serious. There's like 150 people drinking ayahuasca.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this? It's a madhouse, and you pay like 7,000. This is just stupid, man. I don't want to talk about this because I have some friends in Costa Rica. So,
Yeah.
but it's like you want to do real medicine, you come here.
Exactly. You know,
You know what I mean?
if you want to go to the source, go to the
Go
source.
to the source
But-
and drink it with a few people, not with a bunch of people, quarter of which get restraints every ceremony. I mean, this is like a madhouse.
But what I was getting to is that my Colombian and Peruvian friends in the medicine, a lot of them have migrated to Costa Rica because they believe that there's just been a lot of conflict and kind of like war in these cultures, and it does. It feels a lot safer for them and their families to be and
Well, less
and
competition.
like Costa Rica, you know.
They're not competing with many people. Here we have like, you know, thousands of ayahuasqueros here, thousands of, it's like, you know, this is the hub of this.
Yeah.
But there you just go here, few guys running it, you know,
Yeah.
with some luxury centers. Like, it's less competition, but it becomes more tourists. That's why I don't consider it as real medicine at all.
Yeah, I don't know,
So-
man. I've had some amazing. My wife actually got introduced to medicine there, and this amazing family, and brought me there. And I was really skeptical, like all the things you mentioned. But the medicine is amazing, and the way that it's orchestrated is amazing too. There'll be
Depends
like a
who
lead
made,
shaman,
with who,
and
how
like
many people.
6 shamans, and then like another layer of like 30 support people, and like it's really
But
bridging
it's
the world to
still
the
there.
west. And some people can't, like, the medicine's a big leap in itself, right? It's only for the courageous and the bold. And some people just can't go that far out of the comfort zone to go like deep into the Amazon or
Okay,
you know,
so for them, I understand it's
Like-
kind of a middle way.
it's bridging worlds, right?
It's like, okay, I go there, I feel like this, and I have my 5-star hotel to sleep in.
you
But
know.
it's like, it's not the real thing, man.
Like you're here in
You
Peru,
know.
and like that's that. You know,
I understand.
like there's
And this, how much this overcharge people? It's insane.
yeah.
I had people telling me this, my clients. They go, oh, I went there. It's like they're telling me this. How do you know? How do you think I know about this stuff?
Yeah.
My clients tell me
Yeah.
this. People who come here, my guests, it's like, oh, I went there, paid this much. It's like I'm like,
I'm
what
just
are
saying,
you
like, I've
doing,
experienced
man?
some of it, and in some places the medicine is incredible, and the support staff makes it super safe, and they're able, you know, to reach a lot of people in one setting. You know, it's a kind of mass exposure.
Yeah, that's what you
thing.
don't want. I'm against this.
Yeah.
This is a business operation. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, 100 people. Can you imagine 150 people? I would never do this.
Yeah, but what if you had like a half a dozen kind of people that have
I
worked
understand
with you,
helpers,
like
but I cannot talk to them personally. I cannot run this
you're,
person.
that's what's unique and
It-
special about
it
this place,
can't.
though. Is that I don't even call this place a retreat center. Like,
yeah,
you literally
we are
welcome
beyond
us
that.
into your home.
Exactly.
And like you've mentioned,
Yes.
like your home is the medicine.
Yes.
Your kids are the medicine.
Yes.
Your animals
My
are the
family.
medicine.
Yes.
And how
We
we
are the
operate
medicine.
here as guests is like we're a family. Like
It's-
we're in there like
yes.
cooking and eating and
Yes,
sitting
it's
around the
personal.
fire together, and like
Yeah.
you're able to really go deep with others and get that support. You know, it's
Personal connection.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine like 30 people here? How can I talk to them? How can I make connection with you? I will not remember.
Yeah.
It will take me a week just to remember your name.
yeah.
And what about your pains, your traumas, your concerns, your fears, what you come to work with, and the progress? Wait, you
It's
serious?
a lot deeper work because of this connection and, and your
Of
approach
course,
with it. you
yes.
know, like-
The other one which you talk, it's superficial, more superficial.
I'd say it's like a
in
good
that sense.
introduction, right? Like,
Introduction, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. You want to be introduced? That's fine.
Yeah.
But you pay so much for this. Like, man, you pay here that much, you stay with me like 3 months.
Some places. There's other places
Yeah.
that keep ceremonies like 12 to 20 people, and it's $200 a ceremony.
Okay,
It's-
that's
it's
fine.
It's a lot more.
That's fine. The
Well,
places I'm talking is like, we're talking like
Yeah.
75 people to 150 people.
I know.
Like,
I've been to these places too.
are you
man. Like,
serious me? You
Yeah.
cannot pay me enough money to attend.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, there is not enough. Maybe if you give me $1 million, like, okay, $1 million, man, I'll go. I'll just buy more land. I'll increase more capacity here. Maybe I'll do. But really, I mean, this is madness, man. It's like no way. It's like 10 people is max, and that's like me, and I was scared. So that's 8 guests.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's personal. And that's like, man, this is serious. You going more? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like personally, me, I no way, no way. It's just not possible. You can't make me go there.
Yeah.
It's not possible by paying me. I don't want your money. I'm not doing this.
That was my feeling going in there too, but it was my wife's introduction to the medicine. She wanted me to go drink and experience this. So I was like, dude, you want to drink medicine with me? Heck yeah. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And it surprised me, man. It really did. Like, I found, honestly, a lot of benefits there for myself and other people, and the way it was organized, and the pre-care and the post-care, and, but it's more like their business or organization, like how it flows.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they use real medicine, but the structure is
it's
business.
Exposing it to a lot of people, and then you can go deeper, right? Like, then you can go back to like where the family came from, and the Amazon basin.
Well, that's what I would recommend.
Colombia, and
that's what I would recommend. Go deep,
like
past that stage.
It's like a stream, right? Like,
past that stage.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying.
That's just like the introduction, and then like you go deeper and you go deeper, and then,
for people who want to go deeper, I understand. There are levels to be introduced to the medicine. Of course, what we do here is hardcore.
But for someone who only has like 7 days, maybe every year or two, to like go drink medicine, like I see how it works for them.
Yeah, I understand that.
And like
maybe that's the structure that works for them.
And those that are like used to like more comfort,
Yeah.
It works for them, and to get those people in the medicine, like it's better they're in the medicine than not in the medicine, like. And
if that's all you can do, and are you willing to pay that much? Oh, that's fine, but that's not the best way to do it. That's just the truth of it. Yeah. It's not the best. Yeah. Than just being like going to the source. That's just the truth. Yeah. And
it's a lot of crossing streams of energy too, and like, I had experience there, like I didn't even know, because I'd just gotten so far in my path.
You don't even know what you feel.
That's the thing. It's like
you don't know if it's your anger, is it their anger, is it their? It's like you know what?
I didn't know how to differentiate, but I learned that too. It was like my valuable lesson in that process, and
too much coursing energy.
But it's a lot, man. It's a lot. But
that's why
I have a lot of respect for what they're doing there, and like a lot of respect for like what you're doing here. So it's different worlds, really.
It's a different worlds. That's true. If we're saying like this, if we label that like this, then it's okay. You want this kind of experience, you go there, fine. Yeah. That works.
But the medicine
for what you want
does lose potency the further it travels away from the source, I think. And like I've never done a ceremony in States for this reason, of plants, really. There's so many fly-by-night shamans there.
It's like there is a point in what you're saying. However, I traveled 3 times, did retreats in another country. I don't want to say which country. I cook my medicine the same. It's the same power.
So you brought there and cooked it there?
Yeah, I cooked there. Yeah. I shipped it.
Yeah.
And what's the same? Of course, the environment is different because here I connect to the mountains.
I know.
So it's different power. It's a different. You feel the space is held differently.
I've tried going. I've tried going deep with Huachuma by myself. In Florida, it's just not a conducive environment.
It's different environment, so that's why here you get that support of the mountains, and I call them into my medicine.
It's where it is. Into the world,
it's powerful. So the medicine is still good, and there was a lot of healing happened there for people. It's like but it's better here. It's just the truth. It's just better here. Yeah. It's the same like we're talking. Yes, you can do that. Yes, Costa Rica, you can do that, but you want depth. You come here.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? Yes, I can bring medicine to America, to other places. Yes. And I can do amazing healing for people. For sure. But it's not going to be as deep as here. It's just not, because of all the external...
You need the environment.
The environment, external factors.
Close to the sunlight.
That's
these are some of the highest mountains in the world, right? Maybe the Himalayas and stuff are the first.
But not that far.
Yeah.
Not that far. Not that far apart, But it's not just that, it's our home, it's my family. It's the birds, it's the dogs, it's the cats, it's the mountain, it's my river, it's the place. It's like the energy of the place that makes it what it is. Yeah. The medicine, of course, is the connector. It connects you to all this. But then I bring energy from places. It's elemental magic. Like this is the mountain, this is the rivers. There's like everything. And yes, the sacred sites. It's just it just brings more to it.
That's why I was sobbing so much yesterday in closing. Just like so much love and respect and gratitude for not only these connections back to myself, but these connections to all these elements that you've been working with and fostering over time, and all the healing and understanding that's not only been bestowed upon me, but like so many others. It's just such a natural gift. You do such good work. Thank you so much.
Of course, you're welcome. Maybe that's what I wanted to, I thought to talk about the fact of returning to the medicine and how that the cyclical nature of healing and how deeper you go when you return to the medicine. I just had this talk with James last time before he left, because I felt it's important to make people understand that there is like so much you can do in one sit, in one period of time, in one cycle. But when you come to the medicine again, you go deeper.
Oh yeah,
it just happens.
It's evolution.
So how maybe you want to share like your experience of coming back now?
Yeah.
And how different that. Of course, you stay longer, and I understand, but still, you can tell the energy is different.
I started in 2017 on this path up in the Quitos in northern Peru with the Shipibos, and
Pucallpa?
No, this was like 3 boat rides and hiking through 3 villages deep in the Amazon, like no electricity.
Yeah,
the first time I went there,
really deep.
Deep. Like again, this is where first timers, most of them don't go. But I traveled the world. I used to be like an outdoor adventure guy. I wanted something like this.
Hard, cold, savage environment.
Yeah, but most people aren't like this, right? Like they might be that cushy shit at first. But anyways. So like from my first ceremony, I think it was like a year until my next ceremony. And the year after that, it was like, all right, I went for like 2 weeks in a year, and like it's just been going like deeper and deeper. This year alone already, I went for a month in February in Colombia. And then now I spent a month here with you, and it's like the medicine is calling me back as well. The deeper I go, and removing these layers to, truly have the ability to nurture myself, because you can't nurture other people if you're not truly nurturing yourself in all aspects. So like nurturing myself and nurturing other people and nurturing the planet and the world as a whole, and just building these bridges and making connections. And I think the medicine is showing us that it's like a doorway, and like we have this ability outside the medicine, because I've tapped in these spaces too through meditation and breath work, where I hit this one place about a year and a half ago in meditation, where it was like I was in the medicine for 2 months. Like I was meditating 6 to 8 hours a day. If I was a monk in the Himalayas, like I was set. I could have been there, done my work, and shared my teachings. But that was my path. I made choices with wife and family and like 3D obligations, and I love that. And I had to stop meditating for a month to like turn down this fractal universe and this consciousness to like find this balance, right? So I don't know, like the medicine, the deeper you go, the more you evolve, and then sometimes it's revolving. It's in and out of the medicine, these massive kind of hang-ups that have been bred in us from birth are too stubborn to get rid of with these other practices, and you need this massive kick from the medicine to really dig into it. And that's what it was for me this time, as I was building these beautiful webs, and it was like I wasn't allowed in life and my consciousness to go any further and tell these layers of, it was depression at first, which was my first 2 weeks here. It was rooting that out, not only from my genetics and rewiring myself in that sense, but also the way that I've nurtured it with my life choices, and just getting full awareness and of this, and then the process of like cleaning this out. Eucalyptus was my biggest connection here. It's such an amazing plant, and so beneficial for just cleaning energy as a whole and lightness. And man, I spent my first 2 weeks with fires of eucalyptus, smelling eucalyptus, rubbing eucalyptus, and just immersing myself in that. And yesterday again up at Eagle's Nest, I was connecting to kind of these ancient technologies and building these webs with the aliens and everything that I've had experiences with, and deepening that connection. And it was
Isn't it funny that the best UFO, I don't know what you call it, sky show, like
a sighting,
UFO, the sighting that I ever had here, and I had a lot here. I mean, they're here all the time. So you just sit here in the garden, look up.
Yeah,
that's what they are. But that was with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
because
with 10 other people.
because my connection, right? And like
I don't know, maybe.
I brought that. And
Maybe.
again, it's not about the ego. And
It was the best.
It's about awareness, right? And like I sit out here every night after
That was crazy.
ceremony and all the time.
Yeah.
I got a laser now, and I play with them. I interact with them.
Yeah. I got the laser too. You guys
I
bring
know.
it tomorrow.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Just to say hi to them.
And like again, I have beautiful experiences every night here because again, you're so close to the sky too. You don't have all these interferences from light or atmosphere.
You
and
sit here for 5 minutes, you see things moving there.
Yeah.
You know, people are going UFO sightseeing somewhere in Sedona, paying thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a
They run these tours. And
tours,
like
hey,
alien trucks and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like,
well, what are you saying, man? Just sit in the garden, look up, and see what happens. There. You know what I mean? It's like you see it like daily.
And like
I get lazy to do this. Like hell it, man. I go home, eat some chicken. It's like. I mean, unless it's like a really like cool show.
Well, yeah, you had like the bag, like one of the top 5 I've experienced.
Yeah,
and it was ironic because the day before or the ceremony before, I'd opened up in my share about my experiences and collections with these ET, and the very next ceremony.
Oh, that's how it was the next day. It's the next ceremony.
The next ceremony. The very next ceremony after like opening up and like again like deepening this connection and creating awareness in others. That's what it's all about, right? It's like you don't know things about yourself or the world outside of you until you actually have that awareness and that connection. You can foster it, and it'll get deeper, and you'll get more lessons from plants and trees and mountains and rivers and fires and smokes, and like because you're deepening that connection as you go deeper in the medicine.
But you know, it was good that we had 10 other witnesses because.
Yeah.
If I were by myself, I would be probably doubting that maybe I'm hallucinating.
Well, that's the thing with all this awareness, and that's what I did for so long.
But 10 people, like, okay, we'll see the same
you
thing.
inherently dismiss it, right? Like you're like,
inherently dismiss. That's a cultural programming.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's the same with light orbs too, right? Like when I was exposed to these,
I don't know much about that, so I don't.
And ETs at the same place. This James Gilliland, this Earth Self Mastery Institute. This land he's harvested at the base of Mount Adams in Washington State, and again, he's harvested the space for it too. Like you've harvested this is the space for Huachuma. He's harvested
for healing through Huachuma.
And this is healing through light orbs and light ships. Like I've seen some amazing photos and documentation of people that were supposed to be going for heart surgery and having these experiences, and like their chest just got a beam of light and it's like sunburnt.
But how you can tell? Like I've seen some pictures. Okay, I look into it like very little bit, not much. So I'm not expert on that at all. I don't even have an opinion on that because the information I have about it is limited, so it's not enough to form a kind of coherent view on that. But I want to ask you, like, I've seen all this, some pictures, they look like phony, man. It's like with thousands of orbs, like a bubbles, like kids doing these shampoo bubbles.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Well,
how you tell real from fake?
I guess to relate to you, it would be like when you start to hear voices from the river. Right when you're up.
Well,
in
you
the
can
medicine.
hear it. It's right there.
I know, but
it's
like
right there.
Like the first time it might happen, the first couple times, like you might dismiss it. You're like, oh, maybe there's a group of people across the river. Maybe there's a group of people up in the mountain.
Totally reasonable.
And like you go through this process, right, where you're trying to dismiss it, but then it keeps happening, and so you like lean into it more. And if you're receptive, you'll start to receive information too, and then like learn like you're experiencing another reality or another spirit or another dimension. And it's the same with these light orbs and awareness to them. Like I was taught that ATs and light orbs are attracted to unconditional love and silliness, and if there's any fear in you or the group, like they won't manifest, they won't phase into our reality, right?
That's true. I have to say, like, just going back to our let's say collective UFO sightseeing, the energy was just excitement.
Yeah.
We were like, man, I got dizzy looking up. It's like, man, it's like my neck hurts now. I need massage tomorrow to look at this,
I was also kind of guiding too, and
everybody was like totally excited,
positive. All right, guys, like it's opening up. Like don't have any fear. Open your heart.
It was not threat at all.
And like
it was totally positive. Like they were playing with us.
Yeah.
It's like it's like flashing. It's like, man, that's like. They want us to play with them. That's how it felt.
I think it was me and James on his last ceremony. We were sitting out here, and there was one I spotted with my laser, and I was like, boom, a big bright flare up to us. This went back and forth for maybe 10 minutes. I'd shine my laser, and boom, it like flashbacks.
I think we were sitting here more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, oh, we were
It's
just
like half an hour.
Yeah. Usually, I showed you, it's kind of like that first 90 minutes when things
After
really
dark.
unfold. And I'm not smart enough to explain it, but it has something to do with the refractory line. Again, what some of my teachings, it's like they're at such a high vibrational state. They're more light energy body than they are 3D matter, and they can't physically phase all the way down into 3D reality. But when we're at a high frequency and we're in a high frequency space, physically and environmentally, that's where we kind of create the bridge. We're up a little bit and then come down a little bit, and we meet in the middle and play and interact. But we're too 3D to go full on light body too and have these experiences.
Well, the medicine helps you to kind of bridge gap between dimensions.
Yeah,
that's actually, it happens in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's experience and awareness and
awareness and a higher vibration, higher consciousness and higher vibration. That's what you experience, higher vibration. That's what it is. You vibrate different. It's just a different, you become light. That's why we work with light. It's we want to become light.
Yeah.
We want to become sunlight.
I'm not religious at all, but it gets back to this principle.
It's a food.
And Gnostic Christianity, right? One of the core beliefs that I resonate with is that we all have God's source, the divine spark inside of us.
Which is the sunlight.
And it's our mission in life to get back
to release that
and be a part of that whole again, not just that sliver. And that's our process. And I believe on an evolutionary standpoint, that's what we're going through. It's the seven stairs to heaven kind of thing. And it's some people spend their whole existence not evolving at all. They're just 3D matrix zombies, and they're going to come back around and they're going to make the same mistakes again for another lifetime, and maybe do that, for 10, 20 lifetimes until they start to evolve, and then they get to the next level. And there's some people that are they can go a lot, some up maybe 2, and there's others that go maybe down 2, and I think that a lot of ascended beings are
descended beings.
There's descended beings.
Descended beings.
But from what we know and feel, the ascended beings, even the likes of Jesus and Buddha, they're all what they tell us in the end is we've gotten to this space and we can't go anywhere else until the rest of humanity joins us. And that's where they share their path. And I believe they're sharing their path to encourage us to find our own path. And that's the big flaw and manipulation of religion and some aspects of spirituality. It's imposing on people this is the path. This is the way I found it. This is the way my teacher found it. And I just think that's dogmatic, and it's this element of control and manipulation, and it's wild.
That's
right?
what it is. That's just keeping the followers close.
Yeah. Again, it's back to that regurgitation. And, I don't know. Is there something you do?
It's important subject. It's exactly. I write about all this in my books. Everything, religion, spirituality. It's it's just trying to direct people to direct experience.
Exactly.
That's it. Experience reality for yourself.
That's your truth.
That's your truth.
Everything else is just.
It's a description of truth.
Yeah.
It's his description, her description, Buddha's description.
Yeah.
Anyone's description. It's at best it might serve as a guidance, just to kind of abstract guidance to go somewhere and find your own. At best.
Yeah.
But you have to have your own experience of truth, of reality. Then you know what it is.
And books and education are super important.
Maps at best.
What I've been sharing with people is where I'm at now.
Okay, it's a map.
I like to draw on my direct experience, and then when I'm having struggles or I'm trying to piece things together, reach out to others, like I did to you in the medicine. Is I need some help, man. Help me connect these dots here, and rely on myself and others that have a strong connection to themselves and the world, and that's universal energy. And to me, that's been more beneficial than reading about somebody's others path and connection.
Of course, I understand, but think about this. You go back home now and people say, how was it in Peru? And you just tell them about this incredible work we did for a month.
Yeah.
Incredible. For a week, you just sit and you just share and you just say everything you can.
Yeah.
Will that change your lives?
but it's an introduction.
No.
Like what I found too
That
is
can
like,
direct them to the
it's
medicine.
like you can't go back and just like
Strong wind. It's like strong wind. People can hear anything.
Oh,
People
really?
like complain there. My microphone. It's just a wind, guys. It's like can do anything. Just wait for a second.
We'll pray for it to like go.
You know, it shouldn't be. The wind comes in August. We're still like in June. I mean, no, we were in July. I just had my birthday a few days ago.
Yeah.
That's July. But still, like, we're a month before wind. So, sorry, what you were saying?
Yeah, but like early in my path, I used to come back from these plant medicine experience and just like spill out everything, and
That's okay.
It is, but
it's not
it wasn't like
changing their life.
beneficial, right? And so what I do now is like
It might inspire people to come to the medicine.
I give people like a very brief taste, and then those that ask questions are the ones that I'll open up to because they're curious and they want to know more.
Curiosity can lead you to healing.
For others, like again, like I've been learning throughout those last few years a lot about the art of listening, and back to like the Matrix and making everybody a zombie is like people really lost the ability to truly listen to others. They'll ask you questions, and there's some people that just talk because it's like a social condition, and they don't ever listen, right? Like they're not stopping their own mind or their own emotions to really listen from another person, right? And so
but don't you think it requires at least some degree of self-awareness to listen to a person?
Yeah. I mean, you can't be like dissolved into pure consciousness, but you have to like slow your mind down and not be like in your internal thoughts of like either how are you going to respond or like thinking about all the things you have to do or like,
it's a lost people, a lost culture.
Yeah,
everybody's lost. It's in their heads.
It's part of the programming.
Right? It's a programming. Programming.
One thing I've learned from the Crystal Skull family, it's a whole other story, but there's 13 of them. There's ancient technology. The messages from them they're 400 million years old, and there's 13 of them scattered around the world. 3 of them have been found. 2 are locked up in museums. Nobody ever gets to see them. There's one, the Mitchell Hedges, that travels around the world because the message with these skulls is that when all 13 skulls are united, it'll bring a new paradigm shift to the world where people are living more in harmony with themselves and their heart and nature, and then we'll be able to kind of evolve to this next paradigm shift. But if there's a critical mass tipping point where 51% of the people in the world get there already, even without the 13 skulls being reunited, then we can reach that paradigm shift on our own. So this Mitchell Hedges skulls travels around the world with these caretakers and very protected people. It's been a foundation to kind of share these stories and inspire others. To like.
But it's still like in theory, man. That's like I don't follow this stuff.
Dude, I've had these experiences. I had a 5-hour meditation with this crystal skull, and like before I even knew about them, like they were at this Contact in the Desert event where I met Graham Hancock and many others, and there was a skull expedition, and it's not the right word, expedition. It's
like I work with real skulls, like with your skull.
Yeah, like human skulls, animal
your
skulls.
Skull came here, depressed, lost, broken, desperate.
Yeah,
that's the condition you worked here a month ago.
Yeah.
Now it's another consciousness in the same skull. You know what I mean? That's real to me.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the other things are not real or fake. I'm just not putting too much attention. Something I can prove, can touch. Like with UFOs, same. I can tell you if you ask me about UFO, I can tell you my experience. Like, I see stuff flying in the sky, guys. I have videos of them. Okay, I can share with you. Of course, that's not how you see it with your eyes, but I can tell. But what are they? I don't even begin to speculate because I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to create a narrative just to have a story to tell people. I'm not that guy, you know what I mean? Like I can only tell you my experience. Like, and I don't want to confuse you about anything.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what those things are.
I guess that's one of my gifts.
They're there.
As I've had these experiences, like with the skull and after fact, and in my meditations and the medicine, it's always coming back. And also with the aliens and the light ships and ETs, I had not only seen in the sky, but pretty direct experiences. And my Bombay elder teacher from Colombia actually shared with me my last consultation with him is from my ecological origins, I actually have it wired inside of me to board these spaceships. But
what exactly?
To board these light ships. But it requires like almost like a diagonal with the plant, starting in September and then riding into December, and that's when the windows open. But it's like really like food, like no sex.
Yeah, I understand. You're kind of detaching from physical.
Yeah.
It's like dieting a tree.
Exactly. It's the same sort of
just
thing.
kind of the idea here is to kind of lighten
Exactly.
your body.
It's
Light
to
it.
raise your frequency.
Yeah.
Like, get
Well,
less.
it's okay. It makes sense.
Less 3D and physical.
Hey, I had my first. I would say it's not the same. Like I'm sitting here looking at aliens in the sky. It's different. But the first encounter, maybe I can say, although abstract, was with ayahuasca. When I started 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, what's there? I mean, it was different. It's like, but that's how it came to me. And then it's like, okay, well, whatever, man,
And don't get me wrong, like, it's all about the human experience. Like, we're humans.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
And that's what I focus on.
Yeah, and me too.
But there are many other things.
But I've also had these technologies come to me from aliens and skulls and other things that are guiding me in this process. And so, yeah, for me, I'm always in that space and exploring it. But back to, like, my first time here was in October, and I came for a week, and then it was, like, for my addictions, especially with tobacco. And it was just a short period of time.
This week was enough?
Well, see, I quit then for, like, 2 or 3 months. But then, like, when the depression started to come to the surface,
I see.
my old habits kicked up.
You were weak.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't strong enough. And again, it was these processes that were bringing me into the ultimate cleaning of this. And my awareness of how it was so ingrained in from my decisions and also my genetics and how I've been fostering that, actually. And so, yeah, that week, it was a lot of work done. In that process, I realized I wasn't only addicted to tobacco, but alcohol as well. And, I quit that for a few months, too. But then, it came back in.
Yeah, the depression kicked in.
Yeah. And so...
external factors, they have certain influence.
And I got the calling, and I was trying things, I was trying meditation, I was trying my breath work, and
when you're depressed, you're not connected.
It's just like,
you can't.
Yeah.
You don't have energy. You don't have a vital force.
I was like masking it from myself a little too, and like others around me, especially my wife, can see it for sure. And,
so how do you feel now after a month? Like you're going home tomorrow? Like who is going home?
Oh man, I'm the best version of myself I've ever been. I had the calling to come here specifically, not to the jungle or Aya or Yahe. It was to come here to Huachuma and like connect to this light and connect to the grandfather too. I call Huachuma the grandfather of the medicine world and Aya the grandmother of the medicine world. And everybody needs like a good mother and a good father.
Yeah,
and,
family
and that balance. And Huachuma was the calling now.
Everybody needs a family.
And it's not easy for me to create a month of my life to get away from my wife and kids, but.
Well, it's out of necessity.
I'm fortunate though. Like my wife is really supportive and she understands, and she's like, "Yeah, this."
Like, what choice do you have left when you're in such conditions that you can't even function?
Exactly what you want. And when I showed up, you were like, you're here for a month now, and that's what I knew too. I was like, I don't know all the answers, but I'm feeling I need to block off a month to really spend time with this. And,
and we did a lot.
And I got here, and you showed up, and I showed up, and you were like, you're gonna be here for a month now. You're gonna understand a lot more. And when I came for that week in October, I told you my experiences, and you trusted me, and you gave me some of the strongest stuff you've ever made before, and I got my lessons then. But now that I had a month, you were able to like work with the cactus and work with me, and like bring me in a lot slower, and then hammer me for a longer period of time.
And that makes the difference.
Helps me like navigate not only the medicine but my own life, and depression was the big thing. Then it led me to this aggression. Ultimately, yesterday, that was the final cleaning, and it's always
right before leaving. Yeah,
it's always incredible to me. It's like the medicine already knows. It's you can't even comprehend the intelligence of plant medicine.
It gives you in the last ceremony. It's like that's what I tell people. You get gifts in the last ceremony often.
Yeah, and
it knows.
It already knows like how long you're gonna come. It already knows how much medicine you're going to drink.
And how you're going to live.
It already knows like what processes you're going to go through. And like our job is just to get the hell out of the way and do the work though too. Yeah. You can't just sit there and like either feel miserable or like get caught up in the fractal universe and all the beautiful colors you've never seen before, and the sounds you never heard before. Like you got to get into the work and like pay attention to your body and your thoughts and your emotions that are coming up. And for me, Huachuma was a very firm father. Like if I was in a process, I was getting physical pain, like incredible physical pain. My first 2 weeks, it was clinical. 10 out of 10, chest pain, mountain on the chest, elephant on your chest, and left arm numbing. I had to do a lot of work consciously to not go down that Western healthcare mindset. It's like I spent 10 years working and experiencing firsthand how that sick care system operates.
You were a nurse?
Yeah, emergency room.
Emergency room.
Worked in the emergency room and managed emergency rooms, and during the COVID crisis, I ended up managing Coney Island Hospital. I actually wrote a book about that and like all the intentional death there, and just those experiences to share with the world. And like, oh god,
that's a lot of stress. You know,
dude, I had a lot of PTSD from that stuff, and that environment as a whole is like one of the worst working environments you can imagine. They run on such thin numbers just for profit, and like you don't have time to like take a piss or eat your lunch for 14-hour shifts. Like it's madness.
And dealing with a lot of anxiety.
And then you come home and like you don't have anything left for yourself or your family.
Yeah, I had here a few girls from emergency room nurses.
Yeah.
Man,
but the cool, I mean, one of the interesting observations in that space is that, you know, people get these pains, and back to like Huachuma or even life sometimes will show you this pain, and you gotta dig in there and like find your lessons of why you nurtured that space for that to happen. And you know, most people in the West world, they don't teach you that. You know, most people when they get a pain or discomfort, they go on WebMD, right? Dr. Google, and this actually creates more anxiety and stress and gets to the psychosomatic effect, back to like our thoughts and emotions, and how every thought and emotion carries a vibration in the world of energy, and what we all are just energy light beings, and you know that it's more or less creating our reality and manifesting things in your life. So you know, they get a pain in their stomach and they start going on Dr. Google and like reading these 10-20 different articles of all these different things they have now, or they're telling themselves to have. They come in the emergency room, and they might have developed like yet the cancer they think they have, but they'll develop like a stress ulcer or like something else, and like manifest these physical processes. And you know, I look at it like our thoughts and our feelings are, and it's been proven we have an electromagnetic field around us, just like the Earth does. The human frequency, and in this
sorry, man, but that's just, people will be upset.
Yeah.
People will be like, people will be like screaming on this video.
Yeah, no worries.
You know what I mean? Maybe just let's wrap it up. Like between the waves of wind, like maybe just, you know, about your time here, then going home, and how you going home. You know, what are you taking back with you?
Yeah, I'm the best version of myself I've ever been. I'm so grateful for the healing and the understanding and the connection back to myself and the universe as a whole, and just the way that I am more profoundly able to nurture myself and nurture others and nurture the universe as a whole, and just have this connection to life.
That's the key.
Internally and externally, and the love and the joy behind that, the appreciation that it's a temporary experience in this body, and like to really make the most of it. And be so mindful of how we're nurturing ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually, and the company we keep, you know, and the company we keep in ourselves and our own thoughts and all this. And I've been able to stitch together these beautiful webs and in business and life while I'm here as well, and got some beautiful projects and connections going, and I'm just so grateful for it was like reviving me, man. Like I was on the table getting like CPR from Huachuma.
CPR was that?
Yes, CPR was like chest compressions, like bring him back to life. Like he doesn't have a pulse anymore.
Yeah, that's how you came.
Yeah,
that's how you came. No pulse, man. Just
heavy and like.
That's why I was feeding you strong medicine, because they just, you have to do heavy lifting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In your case, that's the only medicine that can help you.
Yeah.
It's just different medicine for different people, for different needs.
Yeah.
So in your case, you needed that.
That's one thing else.
And you withstood the 1 month of nuclear attacks.
That's one thing I really appreciate and admire in your processes, is that you literally have a cabinet of medicine.
Okay.
You do. Like, I don't know, 20, 30 bottles or something. And
all different.
Yeah.
Different colors, different strands.
Yeah, but you know them all like you know your children.
Yeah.
And like you're
my medicine.
Yeah. And you're able to like administer those to the exact person for their exact needs. And it's such a gift. Like I've been to a lot of amazing places. I've been to a lot of shitty places. And you know, even at the amazing places, there's maybe 1 or 2 bottles. It's just more about like how much you drink, right? But to have kind of like a personalized medicine, it's so beautiful.
For different people, different needs, different sensitivities, you know.
Maybe like your best gift. I don't know. It's incredible. It's really amazing.
It's one of them probably. It's like, I think my best gift is to bring people together. You know, that's like kind of my art, my real art. You know, but that's part of it. It's just because I just love what I do, man. It's like I really want to help people with medicine. You know what I mean? I want you to have the best experience you can, the most profound connection, the deepest healing, and the greatest joy. That's it.
Yeah.
So, you know, God, relax. You know, so that's probably why I do this.
Yeah.
You know,
And like,
because I care.
Like empathy has been a big part of my journey this month too. You know, really being able to put myself in the shoes of others, and that gets back to like helping. You know, like it's a really sensitive thing when you're trying to help people. Like some people aren't ready to be helped. Like
Well,
even
if they came here, they're already ready.
they are. But even in my
They already made
processes
the
too,
effort.
like
They commit.
I've been in this self-improvement journey, you know, ever since like 18. And my dad's doctors and treatments tried to push me down the path of like psychotherapy and psychology. And, like, fortunately, I was like rebellious enough to like
Not to go
tell
there.
them to screw off and like take my own path. That's when I really started doing work. You know, it took me a while to get into plants. There was a lot of psychedelics early on with psilocybin
Man,
and
what a
stuff.
trap. I mean, just thinking about it. What a trap.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you go there, man, you get lost.
You know, it took me
You
like
lose your mind.
took me 30 some years to really get to the root of this depression and aggression and admit it to myself, you know. And I still had to come to you with the aggression. Like I couldn't get through it myself with all my experiences and skills. It's like, Sergey, dude, I'm sorry to bother you, but I need help. And that's
No,
been a
it
big
don't
thing
matter.
for me.
It's
is
my
like,
work.
like learning to ask for help when you need it too. Like, I haven't been good at that, especially as a male and a father. Like you're supposed to be like the strong statue that knows all the answers.
Humility is important, man. If you get stuck in your ego, you can ask for help.
Yeah.
And then you get stuck with where you are. You know, you never get out of it. You never break. You never break through this.
So I created this pact yesterday at Eagle's Nest with not only Huachuma, but the Incans and the pre-Incans, and you know, I was like, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help others, and it's like, okay, like you're accepted, but
help yourself first.
exactly, like a but, like you're gonna have to walk around with this bright green on neon sign in front of you at all times that says "Do no harm," and there's so many layers to that, like do no harm to yourself, do no harm to others, do no harm to the
Intend
universe,
to do good too.
and like the thoughts and like. So I got this do no harm bright neon green sign and then an ego fire extinguisher attached to my hip. And the medicine was showing me, like, you've done a lot of work, man, but like ego, it's still like human nature. It's going to pop up. And as soon as you see that and aware of it, you got to pull this fire extinguisher and put your ego out. And if you carry these two things around with you until we meet again back at this space and time, like we'll continue after that.
Man, how much mamba you took this morning? You are fired up.
Yeah, you told me I was all tired and sluggish last time, trying to sleep for like 30 hours.
You want to
I'm like,
recompensate.
I was like, I'm going to get on my communication.
Yeah, no, that's very different than
like fired off, you know?
yeah,
like,
it's fired. That's a lot of number. I can tell you've been busy there, you know, before the talk.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think it was really good talk. It's just I'm sorry for the wind, guys. So you know I can control the wind. So it was very annoying for some time. It still is, but that's just what we have. So, but most of the conversation was good. Like people can definitely understand what we were talking. Although you were very fast.
Yeah.
And I'll try to keep. I mean, it's okay. I can go that speed, but
Yeah, I know.
you know, for people maybe it's a bit too fast. You know what I mean? So.
I think it's so sweet.
Oh yeah, you know how people now, you know, this is it's like when people now listening on like 1.5 speed on 2, you know, so because they don't have time. Like people don't have time to listen. You know, we talk about the listening thing. People don't even have time to do. Even if you have the skill, you don't have time. People are like so busy they can't even listen on normal speed. They have to, you know, fast forward that. You know? It's like, this is like, oh, I was like, what? This is just too stupid, man. I'm not listening to it at all. You know what I mean?
So I guess I'm naturally at 1.5 today.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, but naturally it's okay. You know, it's not weird. You know what I mean? But what if, you know, why I was saying this, what about like 1.5 back?
I know, yeah, that's what I was
Slowing.
saying too, like,
Does that exist?
I don't know. They used to have like record players and stuff where you play it reverse.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe that's what people need to kind of, some application, some app, you know, like, and then kind of slow down the whole conversation, break it into section. So we cover a lot.
I use the pause button, like when people talk really fast in nature.
And think about
like
what
and then if I want to, like, you know, I can hit the back button that goes back like 10 to 15 seconds a few times, like revisit that.
It's okay, you know. I think the conversation was good, and we talked about different. Although, of course, you can go deep into. I mean, you bring big things, like big aliens, ancient archaeology.
That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I wrote books on that. You know what I mean? It's like it's a serious conversation. It's a lot to uncover. So in an hour and a half, what we have now, we're just kind of touching the surface, but hopefully with some useful information for people to think about. Because that's the whole point of this conversation: is make people think. I want to make people think outside of their box, outside of the cultural programming. You know, outside of their it's like I want to help them to, you know, to expand, you know, perspective on life and find their own answers. You know, and conversations like this can help. You know, even though, to be honest, I don't spend much time on that, like stuff like that, because I can't really, as I said, I can't prove anything. Alien stuff, pyramids. I mean, okay, I can tell you my best guess and leave there.
But you know, sometimes it's good for people to hear something besides the mainstream.
No, for sure, to even trigger some kind of thinking.
Right?
Yeah, trigger awareness.
Oh, maybe I want to dig into this some more. I never heard this before.
Maybe there is more than just saving for retirement in life.
There's some people that have like been spending a lot of time in this, and they're probably thinking about this. Like, maybe I should explore something. You know.
That's why I do this, to let people, of course, and to have, you know, the actual guests to share about their experience, so people can relate to that and kind of, okay, that's the experience. Okay, maybe I want to have mine. You know, it's to inspire people to do their own experience, but also to kind of entertain with all kinds of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was good conversation overall. It's just the wind was a bit too much. So
I enjoyed it, man. Thank you.
Anyway, well, it was good. It's great. I see you back, and I'm glad that we accomplished the mission for now. You know, this cycle for sure. You got what you came for, and that's healing, and that's getting back, and as you said. How you said it was a connection to life, right? That was the key. It's like that's what it is.
The life inside of me and life outside.
That's
of me.
it. It's like that's what it is. The rest you figure out. The rest, I don't care about the rest. It's like it doesn't matter. That's what we wanted to do, to reignite your spirit back, to to bring fire back.
And when you have this connection, like the universe provides.
Then you just figure out things. You just figure out what to do. You know. Sounds good, Don. Well, we'll wrap it up here.
All right.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Come visit us in Peru. Drink good medicine with us.
You won't regret it, my friends.
I should talk to people more. I never do this. I never say things.